Ford makes its commitment clear by electrifying the most important vehicle in its fleet. Why there's so much thunder around the Lightning. And a legend of the Detroit airwaves. He's got a new memoir of his life on and off camera. We'll catch up with the one and only Mort Krim. Today is Sunday, May 23rd, 2021, and this is Flashpoint. Hi there, welcome to Flashpoint. We're just a week away from Memorial Day weekend, and of course many of us treat that like the real start of the summer season. This past week, the governor tried to paint a picture of near normalcy for us for much of that summer. Now, if the sudden change of plans has given you a dose of whiplash, it's understandable. Last week, we talked about the shift away from vaccine percentage targets, pretty much forced by the White House plan that hoped to encourage vaccines by the promise of living without a mask. Well, the governor doubled down on that idea this week, promising that all restrictions will be gone by July 1st. So now some are wondering whether the hesitant will be incentivized to get the vaccine at all now. We'll just keep an eye on the frankly very slowly moving needle. But we're going to leave the coronavirus this morning to talk about this week's auto show. No, not the usual one. That one is still canceled until next year. But there was a massive auto show anyway, and an extremely important one for Ford, for the auto industry, and yes, for Detroit. Fitting that the Ford F-150 Lightning launch would be such an electric affair at World Headquarters in Dearborn Wednesday night. But last year, electric vehicle sales accounted for just 2.5% of sales in the U.S. For all its commitment to EVs, and that of General Motors, too, we should mention. Can we lead the pack, or are we already falling way behind in the push to electrics? We're going to talk with the lead engineer on the Lightning, and she's quite a story herself, too. And Mort Krim always liked a good story. He's now telling his own with his new memoir. We're going to talk to the man who means so much to the foundation of this building. It's all today on Flashpoint.
Well, if you saw the big reveal of the Ford F-150 Lightning the other night, you saw the chief engineer on the project taking center stage, talking about this very anticipated and terribly important vehicle. And it's Linda Zhang, the chief engineer on the Ford F-150 Lightning, and she joins us today on Flashpoint. Linda, I'm so glad that you had some time for us today. I know it's been a crazy week for you, but not only am I very fascinated by the Lightning and electric vehicles in general, but really fascinated by your story as well, which is just, I love that Phoebe Wallauer at Free Press kind of brought it to light and gave everybody a look at your fascinating path. But let me start with, what was it like for you standing there Wednesday night on stage after 3 years of work on this project? Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was definitely a little bit nervous, but I was also super excited and super honored to be able to be there and represent such an awesome team that's worked on the vehicle. And I just wanted to make sure I did them proud, showing the awesome product that we've thought through over the last few years and also executed through. So it was a lot of fun.
Kind of hard. Well, I'm sure it was, but it's kind of hard to prepare for a moment like that. There's really no rehearsing the intensity of, okay, now we're live and people are watching all over the world. But also everybody at Ford, I think, understands the pressure that's on this vehicle to take the most important product that Ford builds and to electrify it. You knew 3 years ago that what an enormous responsibility this was, didn't you?
Yes, this is an awesome product, and I knew that even back then. And I knew that we were going to be fighting some skepticism as we work through that EV can be tough. And then also the fact that, there's so much awesome technology with electrification. So we wanted to make sure that we took all that know-how that we have on trucks, and we wanted to take all that new technology that we had and really marry them together to get to this truck of the future in a way that our customers can use still to make sure that they get their jobs done, that reliability and durability that Built Ford Tough is a brand for. And then also taking the electrification and what we can deliver with that between the awesome performance, the new spaces like Mega Power Frunk, and then just the power functionality of being able to draw and leverage that power from the battery to provide that for our customers, whether it's on the go or at home for backup for power outages. So
that was an extraordinary part of the announcement that I don't think a lot of people were expecting. I want to talk to you about that in more detail in just a minute. But before we get to that, Bob Lutz, years ago, I had a conversation with him, and he said that we kind of made a mistake early on with creating electric sedans because nobody was impressed with a high mileage sedan. It was trucks and SUVs that were going to be the real changers. And if those would have been the first electric vehicles, we might be a little further along with electrics. Only 2.5% of the vehicles sold in America last year were electric vehicles. That kind of shows you the mountain you've got to climb, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's where this F-150 Lightning is a game changer. In a way, it's an inflection point for the company, but also it's a tipping point for the industry as a whole for EV adoption because of the fact that we're able to put all of that functionality and keep the capability and the productivity for that truck for our customers. I think marrying those two bits together was really the secret sauce for this, because we had to ensure that the truck was still a truck and got the job done. But secondly, advance it and modernize it so that we can get even more out of it, and really taking that electrification and making it more powerful in a way.
I, as people who watch this program know, am kind of already in the bag for electric vehicles. I drive right now the Mustang Mach-E, which is just an extraordinary vehicle. I absolutely love it, and had a Volt before that. But trying to make this sale on Americans still is a tough task, and there's a couple of reasons for that, and I'd like you to address them. Range anxiety, obviously, is the biggest one. Getting stuck without power as well. But I also, I think a lot of people aren't sure that they're as green as they look, because somebody somewhere has to make the power, right, to run them.
Yeah, so yes, and I think those are the things that we want to focus on going forward, right, is making sure that it's not coming out of tailpipe pipes in a way, right? We're centralizing that a bit by having it more focused on electricity. This vehicle is zero emission, and that's what's great about that. And then in terms of the range that you mentioned, our vehicles are 230 miles for the standard battery and 300 miles for the extended battery. And what we found is in a lot of cases that should be perfectly fine for most customers. And since you have the Mach-E, I think you know very well, you get to charge that every single night. So in a way, you can leave the home with a full charge every single day if you want to. And I think that's the slight difference in mindset, that as folks adopt EV, that they're going to start thinking about it slightly different and really get to understanding that as, wow, I never have to go to a gas station. I can leave every day with a full charge, and it's really only after that full charge is out that I even have to think about public stations. But even with the public stations, with our Ford network, we have access to over 63,000 chargers. So that's a great way to ensure that our customers can get that charge, even if they are going for longer distances. And with intelligent range in the vehicle, it's really great at making sure that we don't strand our customers, right? It's there to help our customers analyze whatever conditions that's going on, all the different inputs, whether it's weather, whether it's the payload, or even the route that they're going to plan on taking, so that they know exactly where they're going to get to, and that'll continue to get better over time too, based on their actual individual driving.
Talk about this intelligent backup power that allows you. I had always heard this as being a possibility if we ever got to hydrogen run vehicles, because the energy is so dense. But the idea that if you've got a power outage at your house, that you would obviously hope that would only last for a day or two, or even a couple of hours, that you could run your house off your vehicle. Where did that idea first start to germinate, and how was it made possible with this vehicle? Because we haven't heard this before.
Yeah, so that's a revolutionary idea that really kind of changes a lot of things, right? Game changer in a way. But it takes your whole infrastructure into account. So it's not one plug. You're not taking your fridge and having to route it through, extension cords to plug it out to your car. It's literally your whole home. So we have a couple pieces to this. One is your home at the one end. Then you have the truck at the other end. And we have kind of two bits in between. One is this 80 amp charger that we talked about that pulls the energy from the truck. And then there's a home inverter that takes the energy from the wall box and converts it to your home. And because that's installed within your home, it literally keeps your entire home infrastructure live for days on end. A lot of the planning and math that we did, it can sustain full use for up to 3 days, like of an entire normal American home. And then if the customer is willing to ration, in Texas or somewhere else where you're just really not sure what you're going to get, if you ration your power a bit and just the critical ones like fridge and electricity for power, lights and all that, you can keep the house running for up to 10 days.
Lastly, I want to talk to you a little bit about your own story. Phoebe did a great job of kind of introducing the way that you came to America, not speaking a scrap of English other than what you learned on the plane on the way when you were 8 years old.
Phoebe's wonderful. She makes me sound interesting.
Oh, it was. Well, I think she nailed it, though. It is absolutely fascinating to get here as you're a classic American immigrant story, and to end up working in the plant, to now have this vehicle coming out of the plant where your father worked, the Rouge plant, which is such a classically Ford story as well. But this is we not only see you as a woman engineer, which we certainly need more examples for young girls to see in the auto industry, but we also see you as an Asian American at a time when we're watching anti-Asian violence across the country breaking out. I'm wondering how, I know your family was there the other night. This had to be an awfully proud moment for you and for them.
Yes, it was definitely a very proud moment for me and my family. My parents were both just so excited, and they're so wonderful. They've done so much to make sure that me and my brother had a really good education and that we were able to kind of build that American dream here in the US. So really, really love them, and huge shout out to my parents, but also a huge shout out to my team, right? I had the honor to be able to represent a lot of really wonderful people that work at Ford, that are part of our supply base, that, even a lot of our management that's been so supportive of this product and all the things that we've, worked through to get there, because there are a lot of challenges, but we got so much help from everyone. So I feel so blessed to be able to represent folks and to, really take all of the different points of views and help put it in this product for our customers. So thank you.
Yours is an amazing story. And of course, whatever happens here with the Ford F-150 Lightning is going to be an amazing and important story. Only 20,000 reservations to buy the thing in the 24 hours after you all made the announcement. So an awful lot of attention on it. And I'm so glad that you were a part of it and that you were a part of the program today. Really good to talk to you, Linda. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you so much for having me, Kevin.
You bet. Linda Zhang, the chief engineer on the Ford F-150. We come back, we'll talk with the one and only Mort Krim. This is Flashpoint on Local 4.
Come on, come in, let the fun begin.
Play Michigan Lottery online. It's the one place you'll find exclusive games like Queen of Diamonds and Michigan Cash Draw. Plus Powerball and Mega Millions that can reach $1 billion. It's easy to cash out, online, or at your favorite store. And all of the proceeds support Michigan businesses and schools. Get 100% match on your first deposit, plus free games. Sign up with promo code TV.
So play on, Michigan, 'cause we all win.
Trends come and go, but luxury is always in style. During National Kerosene Month, receive a rebate of up to $1,000 on timeless kerosene styles. Elevate your decor with sophisticated designs and remarkable quality, including carpets steeped in a century of kerosene craftsmanship, as well as Kerosene's brand new luxury vinyl and elevated wood, offering beautiful wood look flooring that is better than nature intended. Don't miss your chance to live beautifully on Kerosene, only at Independent Carpet One.
Tamaroff Honda gives you more selection, more savings, and more choices. Choose a new Civic or HR-V, only $139 a month. And with Tamaroff Direct, don't come to us, we'll come to you. Visit TamaroffHonda.com today.
Place your legal sports bets at BetRivers.com. We offer live in-round betting on golf events worldwide. Sign up now and we'll match your first deposit up to $250. More bets, more action, more fun. Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com.
Painted brick walls, new carpeting, rustic barn wood walls. You know, the pandemic has put a lot on our to-do list, but you don't have to be Chip and Joanna Gaines to add thousands in value to your home.
It's easy, inexpensive, and won't take you a long time to do.
Monday morning at 6:30, I'll show you the simple and sometimes free home improvements that will add value. Sometimes you don't even have to pick up a tool. Monday morning, Local 4 News Today.
Welcome back. I have enjoyed this chair at the WDIV anchor desk for quite a few years now, but there was before me another man who cast the mold that I hope all current and future occupants of it will continue to respect and observe. Mort Krim has a new book out. It is called, fittingly, Anchored, A Journalist's Search for Truth. It is so good to have Mort back with us on these very familiar airwaves. Mort, really good to see you. You look and sound terrific, as you always do. How are you?
Thank you, Devin. It's nice to be on the air without a tie.
I dream about that day coming one day down the line. I want to start more with the title of the book, which I think says a lot. It's really interesting to call it, to say, a journalist's search for truth. That's obviously the job description for all of us who move into the journalism trade. But I think what you meant here was searching for your own truth and figuring out the truth about your own life. Am I right?
That is right, Devin. The theme of this book is not the search for facts as we journalists practice it. Whenever we go out on a story, we try to find the truth about the story and then convey the truth to the best of our ability. But this is really about a journalist's search, my search for larger truths, the cosmic truth. Why are we here? What's it all about? What is God like? Is there even a God? And I grew up in a very conservative, religiously conservative and politically conservative home where everything was fairly black and white. My father was a minister in an evangelical church, and we had the truth. You didn't question the Bible. You didn't question the role of Jesus in the world, and you didn't question God.
Yeah.
But as I grew up, the old-time religion that was good enough for Mammy and good enough for Pappy, it just wasn't good enough for me. I had to ask the questions, why do they believe? What's the basis for their belief? Is it just something that was handed down from their parents to them and then to my sister and to me? And so I left my study for the ministry and pursued a career in journalism because, as you just said, the job of the journalist is to find truth. And I thought, unencumbered by any previous notions of what is true and what is valid, I can start on this search and test things and try to decide for myself. And it's been an incredible lifelong journey.
And I'm going to guess that just like me and so many others who came out of that fabric of journalism, you're just as baffled as I am that now we find ourselves so at odds over what, for instance, this idea of alternative facts, and that we can't agree on what truths are. What a bizarre place we've arrived.
It's a dangerous situation, Devin. When you and I were growing up, we grew up in the era of Cronkite and Huntley Brinkley and Tom Brokaw after that, and these people who kind of brought the country together around a common set of facts. We watched the evening news, and we would come to different opinions based on our political views, on our own personal life experiences, but there wasn't that much argument over what was true, what was factual. Now we can't even agree. Black is white, white is black, up is down. It's a very dangerous thing for a democracy when we go beyond just having diverse opinions and can't even agree on what's real.
And you occasionally share your thoughts on social media. You found yourself having to pull back from even that because everything is hyper-politicized. But you point out in the book that with the Trump presidency, it was the first time in your life, even though people love to throw stones at the media all the time, it was the first time that you'd ever been described as, or our craft had been described as an enemy of the people.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. We're not the enemy of the people. Thomas Jefferson said if he had to choose between newspapers or the press and Congress or the government, he would take the press. And you know, we've always been a valued backstop to keep tabs on everything else that's happening in society, to keep tabs on what business and labor and education, and especially the government, the people who really have so much control over our lives. And when this fourth estate, as we've traditionally been called, is as an entity called into question and said they're the enemies of the people, that's a very dangerous thing for democracy. Democracy can't function without an informed citizenry, and we have a responsibility to inform people, whether they like the facts or not.
Yeah. Mort, you describe not only some of the highlights of your life and your career, but you also, I think, tried to take an honest look at some of the things that that you didn't do well, some of your own personal foibles. You were paired early on in one of the most famous early pairings of an anchor woman and an anchor man with Jessica Savitch in Philadelphia. And a lot of the headlines of the people who have written about your book and people who have reviewed it can't help themselves from glomming onto the fact that you admitted to an affair with Jessica. I'm wondering, and as I said, you wanted to be honest with yourself about your own life. Have you regretted including that in the book, given how much attention it's received, or is that just sort of human nature?
That was one of the most difficult decisions, whether to include that part of my life in the book or not. And
yeah.
Interestingly enough, it was my children who convinced me, my son and my daughter. They said, "Dad, you know, a lot of people think you're kind of the Pat Boone of news. You never made a mistake. You lived a clean, good life." And essentially that's true. But they said, you need to tell the real story, warts and all. If you're going to tell your memoir, you can't gloss over or try to hide those parts of your life that you're ashamed of, that you're sorry about, that represented a real failing on your part. And both of the principals involved, the two women who were involved, my wife and Jessica, are both gone now. They're deceased.
Yep.
And so after much consideration, putting it in the book, taking it out of the book, we finally made the decision that let's just tell it all.
Yeah. Well, Mort, you were always such a thought leader around here for us, and that's evident in your book as well. I have a certain skepticism about trying to replace a legend, and but I tell people, you know, you don't want to follow somebody like Mort Krim, but on the other hand, Mort Krim was exactly the kind of person that I wanted to follow. And I'm just delighted to have you back again. I'm so glad you've been a friend and a fixture in my life for a long time. Congratulations on the book, and I'm so glad we got to talk about it today.
Devin, thank you so much. You know, legend is just old man, Latin for old, and but thank you very much. Could I get in a plug for my website?
Quickly.
MortKrimSpeaks.com. You get an autographed copy of the book if you order it. MortKrimSpeaks.com.
Super, and wherever excellent books are sold. Mort, thanks so much. We'll take a quick break. Back with more on Flashpoint right after this.
Save 40% off all the latest styles from Hooker. Furnishings for every room are on sale. That's 40% off bedrooms, dining rooms, and living rooms from fashion leader Hooker. Factory authorized discounts of 40% off Hooker at Gorman.
Take one. And there it is.
And I look up and I'm like, oh man.
I feel like I feel all the feels.
That was a special moment.
I had to kind of control my emotions.
DTE Energy, pleased to support Local 4's coverage of the Tokyo Olympics, coming July 23rd.
Spring is here, and deals are popping up everywhere at your Metro Detroit Ram dealers during the Ram Spotlight Sales Event. Drive home the back-to-back-to-back Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Epic deals that will light up the road. Current FCA employee lessees can lease a Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab for $229 per month. That's right, lease a Ram 1500 Bighorn for just $229 per month. Don't miss out. Hurry in to your Metro Detroit Ram dealer today.
Everything from Bernhardt is 40% off at Gorman's. Save on all the newest styles, the latest trends from fashion-forward Bernhardt. But hurry, 40% off Bernhardt won't last long. Exclusively at Gorman's.
Before we say so long, let's go 3 and out. First, there has been a ton of attention put on the possible political plans for Police Chief James Craig. It is our typical reaction to rush to the next horse race. I get the headline-grabbing appeal of Craig's announcement that he's a Republican just about the time the GOP is looking for a candidate to run against Democratic Governor Whitmer. But at the moment, I've been far more interested in who is going to lead the Detroit Police Department after a year that has reminded us so intensely that leadership and standard setting in our police departments is absolutely critical. Well, this week, Mayor Duggan announced he is appointing former Assistant Chief and more recently the head of Michigan Civil Rights Department, James White. Here's wishing him all the best while the Police Commission starts working on a permanent choice for the job. Second, the governor is learning the hard way that the only way to deal with a blossoming scandal is full and sincere disclosure of everything that is most certainly going to come to light anyway. Every time it seems the governor's flight to Florida is about dead, a new revelation waters the thing back to life. Yes, the governor paid for her seat, but on a flight that her nonprofit is going to have a hard time defending. As Charlie LaDuff of Deadline Detroit pointed out, it brings to light a 501c4 nonprofit, the same apparatus that led to big problems for Governor Snyder and even bigger for Kwame Kilpatrick. Lastly, on the bright side, from Lansing, we found that a bipartisan deal on something of great import is actually possible. The governor and the GOP majority at the Capitol reached an agreement on a budget that includes the kind of horse trading many have feared was a lost art. The legislature gets more say on future pandemic restrictions and policies, and the governor, in return, gets to have members of her team directly involved in budget negotiations of both the House and the Senate. Interesting approach. It's called a compromise. That's it for us this morning. Soledad O'Brien coming up next. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time on Flashpoint.